Hello, this is Looking Through the Glass with Sela.
And yourself.
And we also have Beth with us today.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for asking.
We have Beth today to give us a little bit of her story, or all of it. It's up to her, because I'm on her back. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and take the ropes, or unless you have anything else to add.
Well, yeah, just make sure that you follow her.
So, okay, I will start by saying I am on TikTok, mainly on TikTok. I do have a Facebook, but I really don't promote that too much. It's more for family. So, I don't really do any like social media uh videos and stuff on there. It's TikTok. My name is Beth Marie, but my TikTok handle is at Beth Serio 1214. And I'm live usually Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Sometimes it's between 8 and 9, but I typically try to get on about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And they're fun.
Yeah, I don't have a specific niche, as they call it. I literally go on there. I just love to meet people, and laugh and be able to have genuine conversation,
Mm.
and listen to people's stories like what you guys are doing. And like I had a guy on today that was just talking about a ghost story that he had never believed in the paranormal before, and now he's like, I don't know. And,
I'll
he's
send him
telling
our
me his
way. We've
story.
got lots
So
of stories.
yeah,
I
so there's
actually have a friend that does podcasts for that as well, too. That looks
yeah,
for
I'm
paranormal
huge on podcasts, so
stories.
I listen to all that stuff, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I'll have to send you his stuff.
Yes,
You'll
please do,
you'll,
because
you'll
I
enjoy
love
his
it.
you'll enjoy his show. He's really great.
Paranormal and true crime.
Yeah.
Hey, down now. Smelling her toes. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. No worries.
Lay down, Leonard.
That's what's so good about this podcast is it's real life happening as it's happening.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Like,
That's what we wanted, was something to be as authentic as possible for not only us but for other people, because no, a lot of people don't truly understand the real life of everything. They try to take the real life out of everything, and it's like, why? We are
yep,
just humans.
absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay, so I'm kind of piggybacking off of Justice because I it wasn't me personally that
Okay.
went through it. It was my brothers.
Oh, okay.
That's
Even better.
okay.
Yeah, I know we want family members on here definitely.
It's kind of why we do it.
That's why I wanted her to do it with me because I was like, hey, we need family members' perspectives too.
Well, yeah, because it's not just them going through it, you're
No.
going through it with them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
physical.
And they need advice. They need
Yeah.
advice on how to handle it, or they need, they just, there's no, it's kind of like raising a kid. There's no instructions on this.
No, and you deal with
Not
it as it
not for
comes.
one set person, or for everybody. It doesn't work that way. It
Yep, you have
doesn't
to
work
deal
as
with
much
it
as we
as it
want to.
you have to deal with it as it comes. You really do. And it affects them physically, but it affects everybody around them. And not just relatives, but just in general, everybody that crosses paths with them during their lowest times, during their high times when they're actually like super high and doing dumb shit, like
Mm-hmm.
it affects everybody. So with my story, I have two brothers. I have a brother who his name is Anthony. He is 2 years younger than I am, so he is now, how old am I? I'm about to be 48, so he'll be 46 in October. And then I have a twin brother, um, and he unfortunately is no longer with us. He was murdered in 2019 by his roommate, who was also tweaked out on meth and thought my brother stole his headphones, and so he shot him in the heart. But
My goodness.
Wow.
that being said, I've gotten to see both sides of it. When it comes to having a family member with addiction and doing stuff to get in trouble, not just doing the drugs and screwing up their bodies, but doing dumb shit that gets them arrested, and going to jail and in and out of jail or prison or whatever. I've seen it with both of them, and then I've seen where the success story of one, and then I've seen the life end of another. So I will start with my twin brother, since he is older, and he is the one that is no longer with us. I do want to say that he called everybody that morning, the morning that it happened. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, you're okay.
Take your time.
Completely understandable.
He called us and he was so happy and so proud because he was getting help, and he had a bed at an in-house facility that he was going to the next morning. This was on a Monday that he called everybody, and the night that it happened. And Tuesday morning he was supposed to leave to go to this facility to get better. He really, really wanted it this time. He's tried in the past, but you could hear it in his voice. You could see it because we were on a FaceTime call. He lived in Ohio, and I'm in Nevada, so I wasn't anywhere near him. But we get this call, all of us, my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother, my other brother. He called everybody. He was so excited and so happy, and just sounded so just like he was doing this, like he was just, it was going to happen for him, and this unfortunately happened to be, it was November 25th, 2019, and that was the day before my mom's birthday. And so he called us all. We were all ecstatic. We were so excited. Couldn't wait. He was just calling us know he wouldn't be able to talk to us for a while because he was going to be gone. It was going to be, he wanted to be in one of those facilities where he had no contact with any of the outside world. He wanted it to be just focus on getting better, focus on what he needed to do, because he was going to come out and he was going to be a better dad to his children. And he was going to be around for them. And so both my brothers started out really young doing really dumb shit. They both dropped out of high school. My brother John didn't drop out till junior year, and actually he was doing very well before that. He was a star football player, and he was amazing. And then he got in with my cousin, actually, who got him started doing the meth. Not that he forced it down his throat, but my brother chose to do it with him when he was with him, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. He was doing it nonstop, and he ended up shooting up heroin too, and he was shooting it between his toes and in places that people couldn't see, and he got real sickly looking, and he went from being the funniest, most uplifting person you would ever want to be around to being the angriest, meanest, scariest person. I asked him to turn down the radio once, and he grabbed me by my throat and threw me over the couch because he was so tweaked out on the meth at the time that it took control. It took him over, and he just was a different person. And him and my dad, he tried to kill my dad by throwing him over a balcony. There was numerous things that he had done, and he was in and out of jail. He'd stolen cars, he robbed stores. Not like he didn't use any weapons. He would just go in there and steal stuff, like that type of thing. He wouldn't hold it up per se. Mm-hmm. But he was in and out of city and county jail. I lost count how many times. He never did actually end up going to prison, but he did spend lots of time in jail. He also was arrested for domestic violence quite a few times, with some of the girls that he had been with, his kids' mothers, and so he had that also. And he moved to Ohio to be closer to my little brother, my not so little brother now. He moved to be closer to him, and it was when my little brother was in the depths. He was in the depths of it all. He was doing it all. And he was already in and out of jail as well. So that was not a good combination. They were best friends, but they were very, very toxic because of their addictions and the people they chose to be around and situations they put themselves in. So they went at it a few times at each other, like it just was out of control. So then John, my brother John, my twin, he was married once out here, had gotten divorced, didn't have any kids with her, but then he had 2 sons with a girl out in Vegas, and I don't even know where they're at right now because she doesn't even allow any of the family to see them because she's a bitch. But and then when he moved to Ohio, he was married 2 other times. One of them I still talk to, Kayla. I call her my sister. She's my sister-in-law, and I love her with all my heart. She has his youngest child, Ella. And he just couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. And that ended their marriage. And so he wasn't allowed to see his children. And then he ended up being homeless for a long time. And that didn't stop him. He still found ways to do the drugs and get in trouble and get in fights and, all this stuff. And he found this guy. His name is Caleb Sarge. I do not speak his name usually ever, but I am going to throw that out there on here. He met him, and supposedly he was his friend. And he moved in with him, and they were just talking about Thanksgiving plans and how they're going to have this big dinner and blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I never met this person. And my little brother, who lived in the same town, and it's a very small town, knew of him and had seen him, but wasn't really friends with him. Mm-hmm. So, they were just talking about all this. There were posts on Facebook, this and that, and talking about their things. I apologize. I was getting a phone call.
Okay. We were both
okay,
like,
what
happened?
What now?
I was getting a phone call. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
You scared us.
Yeah. We've been having technical difficulties all morning, so we were both like, ah.
No, it was my phone. It was a friend of mine.
Okay.
The recording is going to show, it's still recording, but it's going to show us.
It's going in and out.
Yeah. And our panic.
Yeah, right.
Show our panic. It's okay.
So he moved in with this guy, like I said, who said he was his friend or whatever, and they were making all these plans. And John called us that morning and was so excited, like I said. And so we were all like, oh, thank God, finally, like it was like we all knew it was going to happen this time. Like we all had that feeling. We were all talking about it. Yeah. We were like, we can.
You can hear the difference in the voice. You
could just see the.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
He was so excited. You could just see the thrill that he had. That he was just gonna. He's like, I'm doing this shit, man. I'm getting this shit done. So we're like, yes, you are doing it. What's that?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but was the person that he met? Was he with that person when he decided, or like did that person have influence in that, or do you know?
He lived with him. It was his roommate.
Oh, okay.
So okay. It was supposedly a friend, and so he moved in with him, and he was his roommate. And so after the phone call, we didn't really talk to him the rest of the day, except for my dad. My dad's seen him he drove down to the house where my brother was living and wanted to see his face like in person, wanted to give him a hug and tell him how proud he was.
Yeah,
And so my
absolutely.
dad seen him one more time, but none of the rest of us saw him after that. And I'll never forget, it was like 4 o'clock in the evening, my time, seven there. And I was sitting on the couch. And now, mind you, I have severe panic and anxiety and depression. So I'm on all sorts of medication for that. But so for me, at this moment, when this happened, I got this really, really, really excruciating pain in my chest where my heart is. And so I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, I'm like, either I'm having a severe panic attack or I'm having a heart attack, but instant pain. I was just literally where I'm sitting now is where I was sitting. And I doubled over and I couldn't breathe. Couldn't breathe. And my husband was like, "What is happening?" And I'm like, I couldn't talk. I'm just shaking my head. And excuse me. So he's over and he's trying to figure it out. About to call 911 because I'm like, he goes, "Are you having a panic attack?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know if I'm having a heart attack, panic attack, what it is." And within minutes, probably 3 minutes later, my phone rings. And it is my sister. And she happened to be at my mom's house at the time. And I answered the phone as I'm holding my chest. I answered the phone and I was blowing out a candle that was next to me because I told Richie, my husband, that I was just going to go lay down. I'm going to go lay down and see if it passes. If it doesn't pass, I'll go to the hospital. But I went to blow out a candle right as I'm talking to her, and as soon as she said, "John's dead," I blew out that candle. And I was like speechless. I didn't believe what I was hearing. I'm like, "What? What?" And Richie's like, "What?" I go, "She said John's dead." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "She said John is dead." And I just fell to my knees. And when my sister found out before they called me, it was my little brother calling my mom's phone. Now, my little brother always would call my mom constantly, nonstop, all the time, because he lives in Ohio also, and she lived here where I live. And she would not answer the phone, and my sister's like, "Mom, it's Tony. Like, pick up the phone." And she's like, "No, something's wrong. I know something's wrong. Like, I can't, no, I'm not answering the phone." She's like, "What are you talking about? Tony is calling you. He always calls you. Answer the phone." She's like, "No, I cannot answer it. Something's wrong." And sure enough, my sister picks up the phone. Tony tells her. And so that's how we all found out. Now, the guy that did this piece of shit, he ended up, we had to watch the police interview with him that night. But we saw it when we were in court. But what happened was he ended up calling multiple people. One of them was his mother. One of them was his ex-wife who lived in Florida, asking her to help him get rid of the dirty laundry, is how he referred to it. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I need you to help me get rid of a body. I just shot someone." And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" But she knew he was a psycho because that's why she left him. He used to lock her up in dog cages and beat her, and crazy person. Wow. So we didn't find all that out till later. So I'm kind of jumping ahead, but anyway, she was like, "Absolutely not," and she hung up on him. Well, there was an anonymous phone call to the Mount Vernon, Ohio Police Department in Knox County. And at that point, we didn't know it was her, but it turns out it was. But at that time, it was anonymous, and they said, I want to report a murder. And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "I want to report a murder. It happened on Sandusky Road. John Serio was murdered by Caleb Sarge." Now, all you have to do is say the names. The town is so small, they know everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops pulled up to the house. This motherfucker was sitting on his front porch, just chilling, smoking a cigarette. And the cops pulled up. They get out of the car and they walk up and they're like, "Hey, how's it going, Caleb?" He's like, "It's going." And where's, have you seen John? Like, where's John Serio? Have you seen him? He's like, "Yeah, I seen him." "Well, where's he at?" He goes, "He's in the house." "Well, what's he doing? What's he doing? Can he come outside?" He goes, "No, no, he can't come outside." "Well, why not?" "Well, because I shot him." And he
Wow.
goes,
Just
"What do you mean you shot
nonchalant
him?"
like that.
"Yeah." And he goes, "What do you mean you shot him?" He goes, "I shot him. I shot him in his heart. He's laying on my hallway floor." And so obviously they then put him in handcuffs, put him in the car,
Yeah.
went inside, found my brother. And so he, within 45 minutes of the murder, was arrested. Which I will say I am grateful for, because a lot of people never get that justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way it went down when this man, this person, Caleb, when he was in his police interview and he was explaining what happened, I will never forget, because he was so I don't give a fuck that it was disgusting. Like, the cop said, "Okay, just give me the rundown. Like, what happened? You know, what was the situation?" And he's like, "Well, stole my headphones." Which turns out he did not steal his headphones, by the way. It was his ex-girlfriend that stole his headphones. But that's besides the point.
Headphones.
It's still over headphones.
Right. And so he's like, "Okay, so he stole your headphones. That's why you killed him?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "Okay, so tell me how it happened." He goes, "I was downstairs. I came up because I couldn't find my headphones. Knew John stole them. John was standing in the living room. Actually, he was sitting in the living room, my bad. He was sitting in the living room. I came up with my gun. He had a 22. I came up with my gun. John stood up in front of the couch and was like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, why do you got your gun? Like, what's happening?" He's like, "Where are my fucking headphones? Where are my fucking headphones?" He's like, "Bro, I don't know where your fucking headphones are." He's like, "You stole them. You took my fucking headphones." And he shot him in the heart.
Wow.
And he said, right when I shot him, he fell back halfway onto the couch, then slid off the couch onto the floor. And he just kept telling me, "Help me, help me, call 911, help me." And he just stood over him and watched him. And he said, "I watched him twitch. I watched his head twitch and his feet twitch until he stopped. And when he stopped, I kicked him. I kicked him 4 or 5 times to make sure he was dead." He goes, "And then I had to drag him out of the living room and into the hallway so nobody could see him from the street."
It was very much cold-blooded.
Wow.
Very cold-blooded. Now, he did not get charged with murder, one, because I could not prove premeditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did get charged with murder, which I will get to. He, this guy, so we flew out there the next morning on my mom's birthday to go out there and set up a funeral and do all that stuff and, you know, all the things you have to do. And we had his funeral that Friday. And it was the day after Thanksgiving, which obviously we did not celebrate. In the meantime, before this guy got caught, so his charges were tampering with evidence. He got a gun enhancement charge and murder. So the gun enhancement charge is an automatic 3 years. The tampering with evidence is another automatic 3 years, and it happened because he took my brother's phone, because he was using his phone to text people to make it look like he was still there, like whatever.
Trying to
And
cover up.
Right. And then he threw his phone in a pot of water so that he thought it was going to ruin the phone and they couldn't get anything out of it. Well, technology these days, they got plenty out of it.
Yeah.
So that's another 3 years. And then he ended up getting 20 to life on the murder charge. And everything was to be served consecutively. So he would serve 3 years for the gun, then 3 years for the tampering with evidence, and then he would start the murder charge. So he was sent to one prison, and he got in trouble there for assault, so he got another 3 years added. So this was in 2019, and we're in what, 25? So it was 6 years ago. So he still has 3 years now for the assault charge that he just got in prison before he starts his 20 to life on the prison charge, or on the murder charge. Prison. So the dude was 28 years old, 300 and something pounds. My brother, it was 19 days before our 42nd birthday, and he was 180 pounds. And this dude tried to say it was self-defense. And there was no way it was self-defense, but you could tell by the trajectory.
Was there like a 60-pound difference body weight?
There was 100 and... Wait,
100.
He was over 100 because John was 180, and that dude was like what did I say? He was like 320 or something like that.
Oh, okay. I misheard the numbers. My dogs are making all kinds of noises. They're irritating me. I apologize.
Okay, no worries. No worries. So, and also the trajectory of the bullet and all that, you could tell it wasn't. And John had no weapons on him. There were no weapons on John whatsoever. So, anyways, he obviously didn't get away with it. He was proven guilty. It was like a 4-day trial. The jury took about 3 hours to deliberate and came back with guilty, unanimous on all charges. So now my brother's lifestyle is kind of what led up to what happened. Granted, yes, he was going to leave the next day to get help. But he was around those people. It was the situation he put himself in. Now, I'm not saying it was his fault he got shot. It was that guy's fault for pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
But the situations that you put yourself in, you have to think about that. You have to think about your surroundings and the people that you surround yourself with. So that's what kind of led up to that. You know, all of his demons and his addictions and everything and the people he was around, it ultimately did lead to his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the I'm surprised I got through this with just a little bit of crying, because usually every time I talk about him I want to throw up.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But I'm doing pretty good. I'm keeping it together.
It ultimately brings in you continue down this lifestyle, it really does.
It will take you out one way or another.
Exactly. Can I smoke on this podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, you're good.
Good, because this topic gets to me.
Yeah, you're good.
So I just smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anything else. I used to until I had my daughter. So
We don't judge.
Yeah.
So then there's my little brother, who is, I say little, he's little age-wise, but that guy is like 6 feet tall and I'm 5'1".
I'm telling you.
So, Tony, Anthony, but we call him Tony.
Okay.
He's a success story. He calls himself a 6-figure felon because he wants people to know that you can do it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And he is doing it. He is amazing. Now, I will tell you, he did go to prison, like actual prison. And this was with him going in and out of jail and county and city and all that too, previously. But he, again, same cousin, he was at his house, and they decided to go rob an old lady in the mall parking lot of her purse that was getting into her car. They were high on meth, and my cousin was the driver of the car, and my brother was the one who did the actual robbing. Um, they used a real gun, but that was never found. They found a toy gun in the house, and that's what was taken. And so they couldn't use that against him. He couldn't get a gun enhancement because it was not produced to be used for that. It was a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, obviously the law does not know about that, but here we are. Um, he, they took her purse, scared the shit out of her, obviously. There were other witnesses. There was cameras at the mall that got the car, got the license plate, whatever. And so they tracked him to the apartment, and his sons were there with him, his oldest kids. He's got 4 kids. His 2 oldest sons were there with him, and he was arrested right in front of them. And he took the fall for the whole thing. My cousin would not come forward and say that he was involved. He took the fall for all of it. So,
Nice to know where loyalties fall.
what's that?
Nice to know where loyalties are, right?
Oh, my cousin's a piece of shit. And he's still a piece of shit to this day. Still does dumb. Just he's an awful human. He's an awful human. He's a waste of space. And I don't wish death on anybody. I don't wish him death either, but he is a waste of space.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so he took the fall, and that was on him, whatever. He ended up getting 2 to 10 years in prison. And he went to High Desert State Prison out here in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like a, not a max, it's a medium security.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent some time there. And then he ended up going to 2 different work camps. So he went to one in Pioche, Nevada, which is northern Nevada, and also Ely, Nevada, which is also northern
Nevada, yeah.
So he went to the Ely one first, and he ended up getting transferred, and I can't remember why, but he was there for a little while, and then he went to the one in Pioche, and he was there for for the rest of his time, basically. He ended up going out and fighting fires, because there's basically like a work camp type thing.
Yeah. We know how they all work. I've got cousins that I know people that went through all that in Pioche.
So he did all that and did well while he was in there. Didn't get any trouble. He pretty much just kind of stuck to himself, and I think, when he got out, he initially was doing really, really, really well. And then he went back to Ohio. And he then got mixed back up with a couple of dudes that he used to hang out with, whatever. And he went to county jail. And what really set him straight was his son. His son getting brought in handcuffs to the same jail that he was in. He said that was
opener there.
Yeah, he's like, and it was just like a smack in the face. Like, what am I doing to my children?
Yeah.
The life
showing them.
Yes, the life I'm leading is what they're seeing. This is what they've grown up with.
Uh-huh.
And now look where he's at.
Yeah. And like they say, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, and thank God both of my nephews, because both of his older sons got in some trouble. But thank God they're both doing fantastic now as well. But that was his wake-up call. And so he got out, and he ended up getting his shit together. The girl that he's been with since on and off since he was 15, he's still with her now. And so they're pretty much married. They're engaged, but they're freaking married. I mean, he's 46 years old. And they have a daughter together who is 16, and she's doing fantastic. And so now he bought his own home, all his. It's in his name, not hers. He has 3 different vehicles that he bought for them. He works at a factory out there that he runs. He runs the factory. He's been there for 10 years now. just going on 10 years. And he is friends with every cop, every lawyer, every probation officer, every parole officer, judges. He knows them all.
Mm-hmm.
And they all love him. He is my brother John and my brother Tony, the lead detective in the case of my brother's murder trial. My brother John and Tony were the only ones that he ever arrested that he had over to his house for dinner. Like, loved them. And
Mm-hmm.
most of them do out there. So he's got a very good rapport with the whole system, judicial system. And so they call on him. And he goes and he does these I don't want to call them seminars because they're not really seminars, but he goes and speaks at the court ordered anger management classes,
Yeah.
drug classes, like all that stuff. And he's like a big brother to many of these guys that
That's
are going through recovery and girls even trying
Yeah.
to go through recovery and get their shit together. And, he tells his story and he says, I wouldn't be here now had I not done this or that or,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, they now use him as an inspiration because there are very few success stories in that town.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
And he was the
There's
biggest
very
one.
few success stories altogether in the grand scheme of it all.
True, very true. When you get like so heavily into drugs, it is hard to come out.
They call us 2%ers for a reason. There's only
Yeah.
2% make it out alive and thrive.
Yep. Absolutely. So the strain it put on all of us was, they would be homeless and, I was with a guy at the time. He was a douchebag too, but whatever. Anyways, he wouldn't allow my brothers to come stay in my house. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll see about that. So I'd wait till he fell asleep and then I'd let them in and they would go sleep in the guest room, which he never went into because it was basically like my office, had all my
Mm-hmm.
collectible stuff in it and whatever. So he never went in there. And I would feed them and I would give them money. And, my brother had stolen a check from somebody that he was working for. And I thought it was his payroll check. He told me it was. And so I cashed it at my bank. He signed it over to me and I cashed it at my bank. Turns out it was stolen.
Oh
And I
no.
almost got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I emptied my bank account so many times for them. I barely made my bills. But, and it's an enabling thing. It really is. But at the same time, I couldn't see them laying on the ground outside.
Yeah.
Or, I just couldn't do it. My heart could not take that.
Yeah.
And so I had to really buckle down and separate myself for a long time from them. And it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life. But I had to tell them no. And I'll tell you that was probably one of my deepest depressions ever. Is when I could not help them because my help was not helping them.
Yeah.
So, I even got to the point, well, I'll go buy it for you. I'll go get
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
for you. And because I said that, my brother John, my twin, wouldn't talk to me. He's like, "What? You don't trust me? You don't trust me? You won't just give me the money?" I'm like,
The
"No, bro, I
defense.
don't. Like I don't."
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't talk to me. And so I had to separate myself, and that was one of the hardest things I ever had to do, ever. Um, and when we lost my brother, my mom pretty much, I mean, she was already going through a lot of health issues, and she had cancer, and she had already had multiple heart attacks, and she was just not healthy. And so she pretty much had been fighting since her first heart attack when she was 34.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she ended up passing when she was 65. She passed in 22, so just 3 years after my brother was taken. And after he was taken, she was never the same.
Yeah.
Granted, she had 3 other children, and she would say it, I know I have 3 other children, and I love you all the same, and I need to be here for you, but I cannot, she couldn't get over it. She couldn't, not get over it, but she couldn't deal with it. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to process it enough to be able to
To
keep going.
function.
And I think that really finally took the fight out of her.
Yeah.
Yes, she
So
a child.
Yeah, she lost her child, and there's no. I can't imagine. I look at my baby every day, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. You think about these school shootings and everything. Like, I could not imagine. I could not imagine.
Mm.
And if it was up to me, my kid would be homeschooled. But my husband will not allow it, and she doesn't want to. So every day I am a nervous wreck until she is home. So
Especially where you are.
yeah, it's I'll tell you what, this town that I'm in, the meth
Oh,
rate here
I'm fully aware.
Well,
is
we know what area you're in, and we fully
Are
much.
you over the hump?
I am.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where I figured you were, was over the hump.
I,
And I used to live there, and I used to deal there. So,
that's crazy. What a small world.
mm-hmm.
It's a struggle, man. Like, I have a great kid. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's seen what her uncles had been through, and I mean, not all the time, because most of the time they were in Ohio for most of her life, and when they were here she was little. But she, was around for it. She heard about it. She saw some of the stuff. She had to come to Ohio with me for the trial. She didn't go to the trial. My nephew watched her, um who was 20 something at the time, and he kept an eye on her and my brother's daughter. And she had to kind of I mean, you go sit through a trial all day, and then you guys go back to the house and you talk about what happened, because you're trying to you want to make sure you heard everything correctly, so that way if there's something that was missed, or something that was said incorrectly, you can tell the lawyer. You can call the prosecutor and be like, bro, no, like, or you missed this, or what about, you know what I mean? So we were all trying to process everything daily and going through it. And so the kids heard it. And, my brother, John, who, again, for most of my daughter's life was in Ohio, but we talked daily, 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 daily on FaceTime. And they were best friends. She called him Uncle Monkey because he called her his little monkey. So he was Uncle Monkey. So when Uncle Monkey died, that was, I mean, she's 15 now. So it was in 2019. So 6 years ago. So she
Yeah.
was not. But
That's
it
still
was,
plenty of time to make a huge impact on a kid's life.
yeah, she was
Yes.
crushed. She was crushed.
I bet.
I couldn't, and him being my twin, and I literally felt the pain,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
was the most insane thing I've ever felt in my life. Like, and I knew it felt worse than one of my panic attacks, but I'll tell you, my panic attacks get bad enough where I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure what the fuck was going on until I got that phone call. And then
Mm-hmm.
I instantly knew, when she said he was shot in the heart, that that's what I was feeling.
What you were feeling. It goes to show that twins are connected. There's the connection.
It's been proven. So, I
Yeah.
mean, anyway, so yeah, when I met Justice, he reminded me so much of my brother John, and I feel like he just filled a void for me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he could never replace him ever, but he fills something for me that's why I call him my brother all the time, because I feel like he's my brother, and I met him at one of the lowest points in my life, and he, with what he had been through, and his stories and whatever, he helped me process a lot of it. Justice was better therapy for me than any therapist I ever spoke to. That man could speak me out of a hole. I can't tell you how many times I was on the phone crying with him.
But people can do that. We can. We don't always have to go see a licensed therapist to help us get through what we're going through. And that's something Justice said. Something Justice said was that we relate to pain.
Yes.
And that, so very much so, a therapist is not, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, seeing a therapist, it doesn't exactly help you get through it. He,
No,
they just make
it's
you talk.
yeah, it's like an outlet for you to just kind of vent, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no strategy involved to where, okay, now I vented, now what? Like they don't give you, they say they give you the tools to get through it, but they don't. I've been through many therapists, many therapists since 2017, and I can tell you not one of them helped me. Not
It's
one.
very hard to see a solution when you're all you're doing is digging up all your trauma.
Yes. Yes. But when you talk to somebody who has been through it
Mm-hmm.
or has, like, physically themselves, or like me, has had family members that were involved and they see it from that side. So, like, when you have that, that is better therapy to you than anybody who hasn't been through it. Like, better therapy than somebody who just went to school, read the books, and said, okay, I'm a therapist now. Now, I'm not taking anything away from them. There are a lot of great therapists out there,
Yeah.
and they have helped people.
Yeah.
But I feel like for certain traumas, it's better, in my opinion, to speak to people who have been around it, who have been affected by it, who have
That's
been
why
through it
they have support
themselves.
groups. That's the whole point of support groups is because it's there. They understand. The people understand. You know,
And I feel like they hold you more accountable on
on your
getting your shit,
BS and your yeah.
getting your shit together. Even for me, like, I didn't do any of this, the drugs or anything except for weed. But, like, even for me, he holds me accountable. Justice, for instance, holds me accountable for getting my shit together and being like, you know what? You gotta pick yourself up.
Yes.
You gotta stay positive. You gotta keep moving, you know? And somebody can say to me all day long, your brother wouldn't want this, your mother wouldn't want this, your blah blah blah, whatever, wouldn't want this. I know that. I know that.
Hmm.
I know that. But it
You're
that
already telling yourself that.
and that but that's not convincing enough for me.
Yeah.
I need somebody who's going to be like, you're being ridiculous.
Hmm.
Wake the fuck up and get your shit together.
And nobody's gonna do it but you.
Yes. And Justice is like that. He is no bullshit.
Hmm. He
No bullshit.
absolutely
And
is.
that's what I need. I need the no bullshit, harsh truth to pick myself up. It's already hard for me to get out of bed every day.
Hmm.
And then I have this stuff on top of it that just keeps it and makes it even harder. But I do it. And you guys see me on my lives. I am laughing and joking and being all cheery and this and that. And I'll tell you what, in that moment, that's how I feel. Because in
Hmm.
that moment, the people that I'm speaking to are helping me feel happy. They're helping me feel like I have some kind of worth and meaning and whatever. And then I shut the live off and I go back to, and I'm not saying this is like a constant where I'm like, oh my God, every day, like, but I have in my head where I'm not enough and I'm not doing enough and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to do, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many thoughts. But in that moment on my live, I mean, it's still there. It's still there.
The laughter
And
is a
it does,
blanket.
it peeks itself through sometimes. You'll see on my lives, you'll see it come out a little bit. But for the most part, I try to keep it here. Because in
Hmm.
that moment, I want to be happy. I
Yeah.
don't
Hmm.
want to live unhappy and depressed,
Hmm.
and I don't want to have to be on these medications for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's and a lot of people in my situation do turn to drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Um,
really do.
Absolutely do.
and I'm not
Regardless of what they've
about,
been shown.
yeah, and I'm not talking about like the drugs that they're given through the doctors. I'm talking about
The
going on the street
hardcore.
and doing yes, and doing the illegals and all that. I can't. Like, I physically, that is not that's never been a thought. So I will say I have been strong enough to not go that far,
Hmm.
because for me, after seeing it,
Yeah.
and I have my baby, like I'm not doing that to her, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so I live for her, but I need to learn to live for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 100%. And it's a very hard thing to do. And this is a very common thing that a lot of people are mistaken to see. Just because you see somebody laughing and having a fun time doesn't mean they're not battling something mentally.
Yeah.
It's laughter and smiling and happiness can be just a blanket for somebody.
Yep. I mean, look at Robin Williams, one of the funniest.
All right, one of the funniest
That's exactly
comedians.
who I was thinking about as you. I was thinking exactly of him.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
everybody thought he was so happy, and they're like, "Why would he kill himself? Why would he do that? Why would?" Because he wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't. He battled depression his entire life, throughout his entire career. He battled addiction too. He went to rehab for alcoholism. He battled with alcoholism, really really hardcore.
And that happens. That happens with a lot of comedians.
Yes, it
Yes.
does. Like we turn our traumas into dark humor. You know,
It's a very common
it's a
trait.
very common thing to do. It's a coping mechanism.
Yep, it is
It is a
absolutely.
it is a coping mechanism.
Me personally, I feel like it's something. If I can't find something to laugh about in it, then it's only going to sit there and make me hurt even more. And I very much rather laugh about it than sit in it and be in a sorrow point of my life where I just digs my it's digging the hole deeper. And I'd
Yes.
rather not dig that hole deeper. I'd rather climb out of that hole and just find, it might take a moment for me to get through it and, find the funny in it, but that it's just something that we do.
Yeah, it is, and it's. I want to say it's pretty much everybody. I haven't met one person in my life, anyways, that hasn't turned to some kind of humor to get through what they're trying to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're so far gone that humor doesn't even help them. So it is a huge part of recovery. And I think that's why they always say laughter is the best medicine. And I'll tell you,
Mm-hmm.
in
Yes.
some moments it is. In some moments it is. Some moments it's just not. But um, you got to find what works for you.
You do. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why everybody has their own coping mechanism. And sharing each other's coping mechanisms can help somebody else to get through what they're going through.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. And that's why I said what I said, is that I feel like if you talk to people who have been through it or dealt with it or seen it or have been around it in one way or another, um I feel like they have more insight into the healing process than somebody who has not.
So there's this poem, and it kind of goes with our. It I like our little logo on here,
Hmm.
where it's a dark tunnel, and you look out through you look out and you see the light and all that. There's this poem, and it talks about it's basically the drug addict, and there's this drug addict that is down in a hole. And there's a street above, and people are walking by, and he's down there, and he's calling out, "Hey, can you help me get out?" And one person stops and gives him a rope, ties it, and says, "Good luck. Go ahead and climb out." But he couldn't climb out, so he's still down there. Another person comes by, gives him a bottle of water, says, "Have a wonderful day. I hope you get out." But he's still there. Another person comes by, gives him some food, and he's still there. And the day goes on, and people are just passing him by. One person might offer some advice, one person gave some food, one person gave some water, and those things are absolutely needed, but he's still in that hole. And then all of a sudden he blinked and opened up his eyes, and there was somebody standing in front of him. He said, "What are you doing down here?" He goes, I've been here before and I know how to get out, and I'm going to show you how to get out. And that's what, that's what we really want to do. That's what, Justice wants to do. That's what Jay wants to do. That's what we're all trying to do, is just go, hey, I know that hole. I know that hole. I know that dark pit, and let me step down in there and help you get your way out. Because we all have to take a different step at a different time. We all have different, and we understand this, and not every person or not every people in the community do understand that. It's not just AA, it's not just NA, it's just not book. Not everything is in the books. As a matter of fact, most of it's not.
It's experience.
It's only put in as certain scenarios, and we're human, and we're so much more complex than that. And we need each other. We need each other to help each other out of these holes. We need each other to climb down in those holes and say, hey, I'm here with you, and I will walk with you. We need more of that in this world, more than anything.
Yeah, it's not a one size fits all, and it definitely takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, does it?
It does. It absolutely does. And there's something that you can say, and I can say. We can say the exact same thing, but because it comes from a different person, it's going to hit people differently. Like, just like you're telling your husband an answer to something, and then all of a sudden he comes to you and goes, oh, hey, I talked to such and such about this problem. They said do this, I thought it was a really great idea. And you're like, I've been saying that this entire time.
It's frustrating.
But it goes across the board with every human being.
It really does.
It's just how it goes.
It's so true. It is so true. My husband's done that to me many times.
Well, and we're all guilty of it, but the ones that are closest to us aren't always the ones that are able to pull us out.
He is so lost when it comes to me half the time, because he was raised in a family that's not, they're close, but they're not like close. Like, they don't talk every day. My family and I talk every day. They don't say I love you. We say I love you no matter what. We do not hang up the phone. We do not leave each other. Nothing. It's I love you. We give each other a hug. They don't hug. They're not huggers. So when it comes to, and the fact that he's never been through a panic attack or anxiety attack, he doesn't understand what it is. And the fact that most of the time, I don't know what the hell is triggering it. So like, it's hard for him to help me when I can't even tell him what's wrong. And so I got to kind of focus on that too. Cause at first I would be like, bro, like, I just need you to like hold me or, whatever. But now I get it. I can look at him and go, well, why would he get it? He's never been there. I can't tell him what the hell's going on. Why would he understand?
Yeah.
He's only able to understand we're only able to understand to a certain depth if we have not experienced it ourselves.
Yep. So I just tell him, listen, when this happens, when I have these attacks, these panic attacks, these anxiety attacks, whatever, all I need you to do is be there. That's it. I don't need you to say anything specific. I don't need you to do anything specific except for sit next to me and be there. And then if I want to talk, we can talk. If I need you to help me breathe and you need to breathe with me, I need you to breathe with me. But I will tell you, but in that moment, most of the time, I don't even know what I need. So
yeah, it's hindsight's 2020 on those situations.
Yeah,
you got to look back. You don't know in the moment. You've got to look back and see what happened. It is.
And you have people that passed away in your life, like my mom and my brother, and there'll be something that triggers that sadness, because I'll see, I don't know, Betty Boop, which was my mom's favorite. I'll see something in a store, and it's Betty Boop, and I immediately just start bawling.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't help it. It's who I am. My brother, his nickname is Superman. So the song Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, that
Mm-hmm.
was his song. And so
Mm-hmm.
now when I hear that song, I'm like, oh my God. Like it just breaks me. And there's
Yeah.
just, I mean, there's so many other things, but those are just
Yeah.
two examples.
We
You
have
I
know,
those
so
too.
we have those too with my aunt and stuff. There was a long story with her, but we go through the same thing. There's certain songs like we listen to, or certain. I remember her perfume, the smell of her perfume immediately just whoosh. And I'm not. And this was before I was in recovery. I was still in active addiction when she passed away, so I was still very closed off. But even then, I still was like, I went to my husband and was like, okay, I need you now.
mhm.
That that just we understand there's just those triggers, and you can't help it. There's no thought process behind it. None.
No.
None.
And I
It's
could still,
it's just it's just there.
there's times randomly, I swear I smell my mom's hairspray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, I smell Aquanet. Do you smell
Yeah.
it? Do you smell it? And everybody's like, no. And I'm like, I swear to you, I smell my mom's hairspray right now. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, it does not smell like Aquanet. You're out of your mind. I'm like, no, I smell it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like it'll just be out of nowhere. I'll just be chilling on the couch,
You
drinking,
want to know what
water,
I really
whatever.
think those are?
That's them visiting.
That's them visiting. That's a
I
visitation.
agree. I
That's
agree,
them.
100%.
That's them. And there's a reason why you're smelling that is because that's your way of knowing, identifying her. For whatever reason, they know what's going to make us identify them in particular, because it's going to be different for each person.
You want to know what's funny? This is so funny. It's so gross, but it's so funny. So, my twin brother, he was a comedian. The dude had the most random, off the wall sense of humor. And he would say some shit, and we're like, what the fuck did you just say? And we would just die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he literally, fucking asshole, he would call me. I'll be like, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I'm just taking a shit. I'm like, why are you calling me while you're taking a shit? And he's like, because I just thought about you, so I thought I'd call you. And I'm like, why does taking a shit remind you of calling me? And he's like, I don't fucking know. So honestly, when I go in to take a shit, I'll be like, bro, this is for you, motherfucker. Like, and I'll talk to him. Like, it's like one of those things. It was like an ongoing joke, but literally every time that dude would go and sit and take a shit, it would never fail. He would call me. And if I was
Because you're
working
the
or
shit.
something, yeah, and if I was working, he would text me. He's like, "Guess what I'm doing?" And I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." Like, so it was kind of our thing. So now, like I said, when I go take a shit, I'll be like, "Bro,
This juice is for you.
this one's for you, bro. This one's for you." Yep, exactly. So it's just always something. I mean, it's disgusting, and
And
it's so
but
dumb.
those are the things that actually help you heal, and those are the things that get you through it. In all honesty,
Yeah.
those are the things, making those connections and stuff are what helps you get through it.
Yeah, I can show you. I'm gonna show you really quickly. Ooh. Get my fat ass off the couch. Hold on. Okay. So that's my mom's
Uh
urn,
huh.
and that's my brother. And
Right.
then this is them. This picture's real old, so it's really like bent up, but that's them at my mom's wedding.
Aww.
So this is their little, I had my husband build this shelf for me, and I have it up in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my mom's card for her.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta
Beautiful.
laminate it. I should get my Aunt Regina's laminated. I didn't think
I
about
gotta get my brother's laminated still. That's why it's not really the good one's not up there, because I gotta get it laminated still. I don't want it to get all messed up. But I have another, like, one of the other random cards that somebody had made is up there. But I have a really good one with this picture, so I gotta get that laminated. But we're twins, and I'm 5'1" and he was 6'1". He
it.
was tall. He was tall and skinny. I was short and stubby. I was like, nobody ever believed we were twins, ever,
Mm-hmm.
ever. But he was an amazing human. And even with all his sickness and his demons and all of it, he was still truly an amazing human being. And he could light up a room when he walked into it, unless he was deep into it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's how they
there
normally
is
are.
hope. I mean, like I said, I got to see both sides of it. Unfortunately, I'm not happy about that, but it is an experience that I can share where I've gotten to see both sides. I
Yeah.
got the success and I got the death.
Mm-hmm.
So I got either way it could go, and I am so grateful that I didn't have to witness two deaths, and that my little brother is doing beyond amazing, way beyond what he thought he would do. And I mean, we always believed in him, but that boy is just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's killing it.
That's just so awesome, and
That
and
is,
he's out there helping other people.
yeah, that's awesome. We would love to be able to interview him too sometime.
I will talk to him. He's a little weird about it, but I will talk to him.
Okay.
He's very like, he doesn't mind talking about it. He's just very awkward.
No, we can be awkward with him. It's okay.
It's okay.
I will talk to him for sure. He's at work right now, otherwise I would call him. But
Be
I will
like,
talk
you're
to
on
him
it, and
about
whether you
it,
like it
and
or
I will
not.
let
No.
him know. What's that?
You said call him. I was like, if you're on it, whether you like it or not.
Big sister
Right?
vibes.
But I will definitely talk to him about it. I don't know if he'll agree or not, but I will
It's
at least
okay.
try.
Yeah, we understand. If not, we're okay with no's also.
Yeah, I will try though. I promise, and I appreciate the offer because he's truly just such a an amazing success story, and I love every minute of his journey, and he doesn't regret anything because he is where he is now, and he proved how strong you can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it is a mental thing, and as long as you can get through that mental and convince yourself that you can do it and you just keep going, you got this.
Once you get through that dark night of the soul purge part, you know, and it's really hard because for me it was numbing. I used it for numbing, and once I got through that, which I mean, there's things I'm still working on. Trauma's still coming up, stuff like that, you know, but you know, life doesn't stop happening, but you learn how to handle it without all that, and it honestly, life is so much lighter without it. So much lighter that I never imagined how much, you know, how much easier it is for me to handle things than it was when I was on it.
Yep. There was something my mom used to say all the time, and I try to live by it, is you can be down and you can have moments of weakness and moments of sadness and depression, but do not pack your bags and stay there.
No.
You cannot pack your bags and stay there. You have to unpack, and you got to get up and you got to go.
Yes.
You still got to live. Your life is, you still got to live. You still have a life around you that's still, everything's still happening,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know, so
was gonna
you
say
have
that
to be
earlier.
there and your daughter needs you. And even if I didn't have a kid, life is still happening, and you cannot stay there. So be down, have your moments because you're allowed to,
Mm-hmm.
but don't pack your bags and stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Life is going to
'Cause it
continue
doesn't do
moving
anybody
forward.
any good.
Yeah.
Life is always going to continue moving forward. The world is going to continue to spin, and it's not going to stop for you.
Some
Yep,
people say it's
100%. I love that you guys are doing this. I love it.
We really
we
appreciate it.
that. Yeah, we need we like the confidence boost there.
Well, I mean, you are doing it and not. You've actually been there and you've experienced it. So you're not somebody who's just trying to start a podcast to get clout. You're out there to truly try and help people because you've been there and you've seen it, and you're working on yourself in the meantime. So you also are going to benefit from some of these stories, all of them, a little bit,
Oh, yeah.
maybe something from everybody. There might be something little, something big, it just depends. But you're also benefiting from it
Oh,
because
yeah.
you are
Yes.
doing it from a place of experience.
Well, and very much, and the reason why we did started our whole thing is because I'm her daughter, and I've seen it for so long, for so many years. The things that we've been through, it's not just the addiction, but we've faced, domestic violence. We faced a lot of other things. I've watched her go through things that I shouldn't have watched her go through. And, I was traumatized in those same moments. She was being traumatized in a whole different aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I've been her support for the longest. We've had family members turn their backs on her because they just immediately saw, oh, you're a drug addict, you are no help. Or she wouldn't even be doing drugs and then still sit there and call her a drug addict
Yeah.
when she's doing everything she can to take care of her kids. And they would sit there and, speak into my ear and try to make me hate my mother. And so for so long, I'm like, I can't. I live with my mom. She loves me, and she's doing all she can to take care of me. So I very much try to share that story with people, and as the child perspective. Yes, there are things that hurt me. There are things that I faced, but I honestly can say I don't regret it. I don't regret going through it because I wouldn't be standing here today being able to share this story, and I wouldn't be the person that I am. I never turned to drugs. I never turned to alcohol, or I do have my own form of addiction that I'm fighting, but it wasn't the drugs, or I don't have to go through that physical aspect.
Right.
So, and that's another reason why we wanted to do this, and that way we just like covering everything. Like I said, we don't have a limitation on what we want to talk about.
Yeah. And you guys can also, um, while you have people on here like me, Justice, whoever, um, you can offer insights as well. So
Mm-hmm.
like you can say to uh Justice, like, okay, so your mom, you can say, yes, I've been there, I've done that, I've done this, but this is where I'm at, this is how I'm doing this, just like Justice can say that to you. And now Justice talks to me all the time about the drugs and stuff because of my brothers and all that and his story, and it just, I don't know if he just gave me almost like the kind of like a success story for my brother that didn't make it.
Yeah. I can.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
can understand
I
how that.
can. I
I
can
can see
see
that
that.
placement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I just
yeah,
refuse to allow my traumas and my pain and all that. I refuse to allow it to be what brought me down. If it's gonna affect me, then it's gonna I'm gonna make damn sure that positive comes out of it. I didn't go through it for anything, for nothing, and I refuse to allow that to be. I won't let that happen. I won't let her, the things that she's gone through, be for nothing. We went through it for a reason, and whatever reasons they are, I'm not the creator. I'm not the one that designs all this. But either case, I'm doing whatever I can to make sure that the things that I went through were not in vain. There's
absolutely.
there's other people out there, and believe you and me, this is the last thing on earth I ever thought I would be doing. I was so secretive about my addiction. My husband didn't know for 5 years out of the 10 years we've been together. Like I was very secretive about it, and before I even had quit, I was I was listening to Jelly Roll, crying, praying about all of my situation, and I was just kind of told, no, you need to step out about it. I want you to come out about it. And I literally told God, fuck you. I told God, fuck you. I did not work this hard to keep this a secret for me to just come out and tell everybody and then make my father right and everybody, all the lies that he said about me be actual true. Now everybody just is going to give everybody reason to believe those lies. Don't lean back in that chair, does that? But I don't care. When it comes to all that, I don't care. I've faced the scrutiny of the narcissistic family members. I faced the scrutiny of others, and I really don't care. I really don't care. That's not going to stop me. There are other people out there that my story may give them just a sliver of hope, and if that does that, then that means the world to me, and it's worth everything.
And I love that so much because that's what I try to do. I try to just make people happy, and that's kind of my love language, making other people happy, and in return that makes me happy. And I feel like what you guys are doing um isn't here just to help the people that you have on, or for those people to help other people. It's here to help you guys as well. Like the people you speak to help you, and you guys telling your story and putting your insights into it are also helping you as you're getting it out. You're like, you're expressing it, so that's
Mm-hmm.
also helping you,
Mm-hmm.
so you're growing as you're doing this. So you're getting the best of both worlds from this podcast. You're getting the outside input, and you're also, which can help you and others, but
Mm-hmm.
you're also giving your input, which is still helping you, but also helping others.
Mm-hmm. All the way.
So it's pretty fantastic. It's a
Well,
pretty fantastic thing you guys are doing. And I think you're beautiful humans for doing it.
yeah.
And I think that you should never give up on this and make it as big as possible and share it on every platform possible.
That is our goal, is to become as big as we possibly can, and it's all in God's will. And we're not here for the fame. We're not here, we're just
Help.
yeah, we're just here.
Yeah, but the bigger you get, the more people you touch, not for the fame, but just the bigger you get, the more people you touch.
That's the only reason why we want to get big. I don't want fame. I don't that I completely am like, yeah, no, no. I want to go big because I want to reach as many people as possible. That's why we want to go big. It isn't for the fame, it isn't for the clout, it isn't for recognition, it isn't for anything. I mean, the money would be amazing, but that's not what we're here for.
No,
Right.
we can care less about that. And
That would be like an added bonus.
Yeah, exact. That would just be like, I mean, I already consider this a gift from God, because like you said, it's helping me heal as well.
getting as far
Well,
as we are right now is amazing.
well, and the money can also get you guys better equipment.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And, and that will come, God willing,
Yep, what you're doing. So really the money it's not about the money per se, it's about the money helping you continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Unfortunately, you need money for everything these days.
Well,
So,
yeah, we've already had to put out money for the software and put out money for it to get over, you know what I mean? But
It put us
it
a step forward to just doing this right here.
and you know
yeah,
what? I look at it like this. It will be returned. It will handle itself. However, I know this. I know that
I,
it will
I,
become whatever God wants it to become. And I have full and complete faith in that. As long as we just keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, it will do what it's supposed to do.
I believe that 100%. You guys are going to do great.
Well, we appreciate that. We really, really do, because I can tell you we can use all the pep talk.
Well, and I definitely I love your perspective, and I love, like, the second I came into your life, I was like, I like her.
Hmm.
And I was just like, I really like her. And you are amazing. You are beautiful. And you're just immediately, you make sure you're intrigued with every person. And you talk to them and you let them talk. And it's beautiful.
It's not
And
about me. That's why I'm not there for me. I'm there to, I mean, I'm a little there for me. I'm not going to lie, because it helps me. It
yeah,
helps me. But I love hearing other people's stories. And I'll tell you what, when Justice comes in the room, if I have a full panel of people, somebody's fucking leaving.
Yeah.
Somebody,
you hear that, Justice?
I kicked many people out of my rooms when I used to go live like a couple of years ago, and I had full boxes of people, and
Mm-hmm.
people would come in, and I'd be like, "Who's willing to drop? Justice is here," and they all fucking knew. They
Mm-hmm.
all knew, okay, Justice is here. I'll leave. Like one of them would say it, or all of them would be like, "You know what? So and so, you've been up here longest. You're out." Like whatever. And if they knew, it didn't mean they meant any less. They just know what he means to me.
Yeah.
Yes, and they respect that, and that's good.
So, and that will hold true to this day. If somebody comes in my room and Justice comes in, bro, you're out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's nothing personal. It's just, hey, look, not to sound, he's earned that seat.
he has definitely earned that seat in my life. He has earned
Yeah.
a very
And I don't mean to sound that in any mean way, or like
no, no,
saying that nobody else deserves that seat either. But he has earned that seat 100%, and that's just kind of the way it kind of goes. You know, when somebody's there for you, the way he has been for you,
We have those special people in our
we have
lives.
those special people. We need those special people, and everybody needs to understand that. You know, you may not be that to that person, but you are to somebody else.
Yep. And he has a special place in my heart that can never be replaced.
I
So
agree.
I am so glad that you guys got to meet him. I think it's fantastic for anybody who crosses paths with that man, because I feel like he is a genuine, truthful, just tells you how it is, no BS type person, and everybody needs somebody like that in their life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We all need to be
Everybody.
called out. We all
Yep.
need to be called out.
Yep. And he doesn't, and he has no shame. He's like, bro, listen, you're fucking up, and he don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You want to unfollow me? Unfollow me. I don't give a fuck.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 100%.
He's that person, and I just love him so much. When I say I love him, I truly love that man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, truly love him. So I don't just throw that around. That man has a special place, and he always will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I truly appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
here,
we
Beth.
really appreciate you coming on and being as open and honest and as vulnerable as you have. You know, that takes something special, and we really appreciate that.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm so glad that I was able to do this. I want to support it in any way possible. So I will be telling people about it. I will talk to my brother. I will, when you guys come into my room and I see you, I will definitely be calling you guys out. I will bring
Yeah.
you up if you want to promote your thing, whatever it is. I will support it 100%.
We appreciate that
100%.
more than words. There are no words to explain how much we appreciate that, and it's truly deeply, deeply appreciated.
And I am proud of you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super proud of you both. You guys have overcome some stuff. You're still working on yourselves. We are all a constant work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You to get through it, and I am proud of you. And Mom, I am proud of you for getting out of those drugs and knowing what it was doing to you and to your children, and you knew that you had to do something different, and you were willing to make that change, and you were strong enough to make that change. And I am grateful you are still with us, and I am so proud of you.
Thank you very, very much. I'm grateful to be here. Like I said, I never thought I would live this lightly. Like with me, it was a freedom. It was literally a freedom for me, because I was kind of forced to have to do it. Every time I tried stopping, I would have up to 90 seizures a week. Like it was like either the seizures were going to take me out or that was going to take me out. And well, you know,
She was functioning with it.
yeah,
It was one thing.
I was a functioning addict. I was a very high functional addict.
It was very much, but when she had the seizures, she couldn't even get out of bed. I had to take care of her, and it was very difficult to not have a life outside the house when she couldn't even get up out of bed.
Yeah, I
We had to babysit her all the way to the bathroom.
I couldn't use the restroom alone. I couldn't, because I was falling out and having seizures constantly.
And you made it through both.
And I made it through both, exactly.
Yes.
Now I'm no longer on any seizure medication. I'm not on any medications at all. I'm not on any drugs. Well, okay, I'm California sober. I do, and you know what? It works for me in many, many different ways as far as the seizures and the PTSD goes. And, you know, I don't view it as a drug. I don't view it as that.
So
I believe that. I believe in its medicinal properties, and I'll go down to my last day on that, you know, only because I understand the effects of what it's done for me. But, I am no longer on seizure medications, and I haven't had a seizure in 2 months.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I had one seizure 2 weeks after I was off the medication, which it's dangerous to come off these medications.
Yeah.
And then after that, which I spent like 10 weeks going through the shakes and withdrawals from the medication, because I'd been on it for so long. But now I'm just feeling better and better every day, and it's just like,
She used to not even be able to come over to my house.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything. Like, I spent so many years not being able to do anything. For me to be able to do this, to sit in front of the computer, is amazing. Like,
Well, now
it's really miracles.
You have the best freedom ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I was truly a prisoner to my addiction. Truly a prisoner to my addiction. And I literally was handed miracle. It is a miracle that I'm sitting here doing this. And I mean miracle on top of miracle for me, you know? And I can't turn my back on that. You know, if I'm capable of doing this, then I need to push forward as hard as I can, because I can't turn my back on that.
Absolutely. And you're doing fantastic.
Well, we appreciate you so much. We really, really do.
I would love for you to stick around after we end the recording. I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I think we can go ahead and end it on that. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.